Welcome back in this video. So we are going to discuss about general characters of birds. The birds which are called as master of air, these birds are feather-clad, air-breathing, warm-blooded, oviparous, bipedal, flying vertebrates. Birds are the body of the bird is covered by the feathers, that is feather clad. Then these are air breathing, warm blooded, that is they can maintain their body temperature according to the changing environmental temperature. So these are warm blooded, oviparous, they can lay eggs, bipedal, there is having a single pair of foot, flying vertebrates, and these are vertebrates. Body is spindle shaped. Body is more or less spindle shaped and divisible into four distinct regions: head, neck, trunk, and tail. Body is divisible into four parts: head, neck, trunk, and tail. Jaw bones prolonged into toothless beak or bill. Jaws is absent and which are forming a structure that is called as beak or also called as bill. Neck is long and flexible. Neck is long and flexible. Tail is short and stumpy. Tail should be short and stumpy. Limbs are two pairs, but forelimbs are modified as wings for flying. Forelimbs are modified into the wings, which are useful for the flying. Hind limbs, which are called as legs. Legs are large, variously adapted for walking, running, scratching, perching, food capturing, swimming, and wading. These are the uses, these are different uses of the legs or hind limbs. Each foot usually bears four clawed toes. They are having four clawed toes, of which the first is directed backward. Out of that toes, first toe is directed backwards. Next general character of aves or the birds, that is exoskeleton. Exoskeleton, outer skeleton of the body, is epidermal and horny and represented by feather, forming a non-conducting body covering warmth. Scales on the legs, claws on the toes, sheath on the beaks. These are some exoskeleton parts: feathers which covers entire body surface, scales are on the legs, claws on the toes, and sheaths on the beak. Skin is dry and there were no glands over or beneath the skins except the oil gland, which is called as preen gland, which is useful, which is present at the root of the tail, useful for dressing the feather. Pectoral muscles are well developed. These pectoral muscles are useful for the flight purpose, so these are well developed. Endoskeleton is fully ossified, light but strong. Internal bones are light but strong. Long bones are pneumatic, means hollow. Internally there were no bone marrow in that particular bones, and there were, that is pneumatic, that type of bone, and bones are called as pneumatic or hollow bone. Usually there is a fusion of bones. Skull is smooth and monocondylic, bearing a single occipital condyle, made by single occipital condyle that is called as monocondylic. Skull is smooth. Cranium large and dome-like. Vertebral column short. Cervical vertebral numerous, bear small cervical ribs. Some thoracic vertebrae fused together. Tail vertebrae few, compressed laterally. Tail vertebrae few, compressed laterally. The last three or four fused into plexure bone. Last vertebrae, the last three or four vertebrae plexure bone, that is called as pygostyle. Next one, sternum large, usually with a vertical midventral keel for attachment of large flight muscles. Ribs double-headed, bicephalous, and bear posteriorly directed uncinate process. Both clavicles and single interclavicles fuse to form a V-shaped bone that is called as wishbone. These are the parts of endoskeleton. Pelvic girdle large, strong and fused. Esophagus frequently dilated into a crop for quick feeding and storage. The crop is present in the bird for feeding, for the storage. Esophagus is dilated into a crop. Stomach divided into a glandular proventriculus and muscular gizzard. Stomach divided into two parts, glandular proventriculus and muscular gizzard. Junction of small intestine rectum marked by pair of rectal ceca. At the junction of small intestine and rectum, there were rectal ceca is present. A three-chambered cloaca is present in the birds. Heart completely four-chambered. A renal portal system vestigial. A red blood corpuscles nucleated. Birds are the first vertebrates to have warm-blooded. Respiration by compact, spongy, non-distensible lungs and continues with thin-walled air sacs. There are many air sacs attached to the lungs, spongy lungs. Larynx without vocal cords. Vocal cords are absent in the larynx and the sound is produced by sound box that is called as pharynx, producing voice. Lies at or near the junction of trachea and bronchi. Kidneys metanephric and three-lobed. Ureters open into cloaca. Urinary bladder absent. Urinary bladder is absent. And birds are uricotelic. Then brain large but smooth. Cerebrum, cerebellum, optic lobes are greatly developed. Cranial nerves having 12 pairs of cranial nerves in case of aves or birds. Olfactory organ useful for the smelling, sensation of smell, that is poorly developed. Middle layer contains single ossicle, not three ossicles, single ossicle. Eyes large. This sensory organ is well developed. Eyes large, possess nictitating membrane. Sexes are separate. Sexual dimorphism often well marked. Female has a single functional ovary, single ovary and oviduct. Fertilization internal. Female oviparous. Eggs large with much yolk and covered by hard calcareous shell. Eggs develop by external incubation. Cleavage discoidal meroblastic. Development is direct. No larval stages are found in case of birds. Extra-embryonic membranes are present, that is amnion, chorion, allantois, and yolk sac. These are extra-embryonic membranes which are present in case of birds. And last one, parental care is well marked in the birds. So these are some general characters of birds or aves. In our upcoming video, we will discuss about the adaptive radiations and also the migration of the birds.